What if the key to drawing people toward you isn't about being louder, wealthier, more successful, or more impressive? What if real magnetism actually comes from becoming someone others genuinely enjoy being near? Take a look around. Some people walk into a room and instantly spark connection. They don't force attention. They don't chase approval. They don't beg to be validated. Still, people trust them, remember them, respect them, and feel pulled toward them. Why is that? Because true magnetism has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with status. It comes from energy, presence, and mastery over emotions. Most people spend years trying to make others like them. They reshape themselves, they pretend, they talk too much, they chase attention. But the harder they run after acceptance, the more it seems to slip away. Becoming a people magnet works differently. A magnetic person doesn't pull others in through pressure. They draw people in through authenticity. When you learn to listen deeply, understand emotions, communicate clearly, and make others feel valued, something remarkable starts to happen. Doors start to open, opportunities start to appear, relationships grow stronger, your influence expands without any force behind it. People remember how being around you made them feel. Your words carry weight, your attitude carries weight, your emotional control carries weight. And here's the truth, anyone can build this ability. You don't need to be the funniest person in the room. You don't need to be the most confident. You don't need to turn into someone else entirely. You just need to become more aware of yourself and more present with the people around you. Today, we're going to walk through 6 powerful principles that turn everyday interactions into magnetic influence. These aren't tricks. These aren't manipulation techniques. These are habits that help people feel seen, heard, respected, and inspired. Master them, and you'll stop chasing people. Instead, people will start coming toward you. If you're ready to shift your presence and become truly unforgettable, stick around until the end and begin putting these principles into practice today. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with presence. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to become more attractive, influential, or memorable is thinking they need to be more impressive. They believe they must talk more, entertain more, show off achievements, or constantly prove their worth. But the truth is, people are rarely drawn to someone simply because that person talks endlessly about themselves. They're drawn to someone who makes them feel seen. Presence is one of the rarest qualities in the world today. Most conversations happen while people are distracted. One person speaks while the other is already planning what to say next. Someone glances at their phone, someone scans the room, someone listens just long enough to jump back in and talk. Because of this, real connection has become rare. If you want to become a people magnet, start by learning how to be fully present. When someone speaks to you, give them your complete attention. Listen not just to their words, but to their emotions. Notice their tone, notice their energy, notice what they say, and notice what they leave unsaid. People can instantly tell when someone is truly listening, and when people feel heard, they naturally feel connected. You don't need to control every conversation to be memorable. You need to create moments where people feel understood. Ask questions that actually mean something. Instead of asking out of habit, ask because you genuinely want to know the answer. When someone opens up about something important, don't immediately steer the conversation back to yourself. Stay with their story. Explore how they see things. Let silence happen when it needs to. People often share their deepest thoughts right after a quiet pause. Presence also means quieting the noise inside your own head. Stop worrying about how you look. Stop wondering if people like you. Stop trying to find the perfect thing to say. When your focus shifts away from self-consciousness and toward truly understanding others, your energy shifts too. You become calmer, you become more confident, you become easier to connect with. Your body language matters as well. Face people when they're speaking. Keep natural eye contact. Show interest through your expressions. Small signals communicate respect, and respect builds trust. Keep this in mind. People are surrounded by noise all day long. Someone who offers real, genuine attention becomes unforgettable. Your presence alone can become your strongest form of influence, not because people admire you, but because people simply feel better when they're around you. People magnets understand emotions before reacting to them. Most people assume relationships are built through words, but relationships are really shaped by emotions. People rarely remember every single sentence you said, but they remember how being around you made them feel. That's why emotional awareness is one of the most powerful skills a person can build. Many people go through life on autopilot. They react instantly. They speak while angry. They make decisions while frustrated. They let passing emotions create lasting consequences. Then they wonder why relationships fall apart, why trust fades, and why people start pulling away. Becoming a people magnet begins with becoming emotionally aware. Emotional awareness means noticing what's happening inside you before your emotions take control of your actions. When irritation shows up, notice it. When disappointment shows up, recognize it. When insecurity shows up, try to understand it instead of hiding from it. Awareness gives you choice, and choice gives you emotional strength. Strong people aren't the ones who never feel emotions. Strong people are the ones who understand their emotions without being ruled by them. Picture two people facing criticism. One reacts right away, gets defensive, and creates tension. The other pauses, listens, understands, and responds calmly. Who builds trust? Who earns respect? Who attracts stronger relationships? Emotional control isn't weakness. It's power used with intention. But emotional awareness isn't only about understanding yourself. It's also about understanding the people around you. Pay attention to those near you. Notice shifts in their energy. Listen for what's beneath their words. Someone might say they're fine while their expression tells a different story. Someone might seem angry when they're really just hurt. Someone might pull away because they feel misunderstood. When you learn to pick up on emotional signals, your relationships grow deeper. People feel safe around those who understand emotions without judging them. Don't rush to fix people. Don't try to win every argument. Sometimes people just want to be understood. Sometimes your calm presence speaks louder than any advice ever could. People magnets create spaces where others feel accepted and respected. They stay steady under pressure. They communicate without attacking. They speak honestly without cruelty. They protect relationships instead of feeding conflict. Your emotional state shapes every interaction you have. If you bring frustration everywhere you go, people feel drained. If you bring calm, people feel safe. If you bring understanding, people feel connected. The more emotionally aware you become, the more people start trusting your presence, valuing your words, and naturally wanting you in their lives. Every person craves something deeper than attention. They crave significance. No matter where someone comes from, what they do for a living, or how successful they seem on the surface, there's a quiet longing inside almost everyone to feel appreciated, respected, and valued. People want to know their presence actually matters. They want to feel that who they are and what they bring is truly seen. This is one of the most powerful secrets to becoming a people magnet. People are naturally pulled toward those who make them feel important. Many people try to build influence by talking about themselves, listing achievements, chasing recognition, and trying to impress everyone around them. But real influence rarely grows from focusing on yourself. It grows when people walk away from a conversation feeling better about who they are. Start truly noticing people, not for what they can offer you, but because every single person carries experiences, struggles, goals, and emotions that deserve respect. Remember their names. A person's name holds their identity. Using it naturally in conversation sends a quiet message that says, "I see you." Pay attention to the small details. Try to remember the small things people share with you. Bring up something meaningful they mentioned earlier. These tiny moments of attention create a powerful emotional effect. Learn to value effort, not just outcomes. People often put in real work without ever being recognized for it. A few honest words of acknowledgement can completely change someone's day. Tell people when they've done something well. Recognize their growth, celebrate their progress, encourage them forward. People hold on to these moments far longer than they hold on to grand speeches. Be thoughtful with criticism. Correct when it's needed, but never make someone feel small in the process. There's a real difference between helping someone grow and making them feel worthless. People magnets protect others' dignity. They speak the truth while staying respectful. They lift people up without faking anything. Another powerful habit is choosing to be interested rather than trying to be interesting. Ask questions. Invite people to share their opinions. Give them space to express themselves. When someone feels heard, they naturally feel valued. And when people feel valued, the connection between you grows stronger. This doesn't mean ignoring your own needs or constantly bending over backward to please everyone. Making people feel important isn't about losing sight of yourself. It's about choosing to recognize the value that's already there in others. Respect builds trust. Recognition builds loyalty. Encouragement builds influence. And when people consistently feel seen, appreciated, and respected around you, they start looking forward to every interaction with you, because being near you becomes tied to something every human being deeply wants: to matter. Confidence is one of the most misunderstood traits in the world. Many people think it means being the loudest voice in the room, speaking without any fear, taking over conversations, or constantly proving how strong they are. They assume confident people never doubt themselves and never feel nervous. But real confidence looks completely different. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need constant attention. It doesn't rely on applause. It doesn't show up through pretending to be flawless. Genuine confidence starts the moment you stop building your identity around other people's approval. Most people spend years performing. They shift how they talk depending on who's watching. They hide their real opinions. They act stronger than they actually feel. They chase validation through achievements, appearance, or recognition. But trying to impress everyone eventually wears you down. No matter how much approval you collect, it never feels like enough. People magnets understand something important. People connect far more deeply with authenticity than with perfection. Authenticity means letting yourself be real. It means speaking honestly. It means admitting when you don't know something. It means standing behind your values even when they're unpopular. Real confidence says, I respect myself enough to stop pretending. That doesn't mean becoming arrogant. Confidence and arrogance are not the same thing. Arrogance chases superiority. Confidence chases self-respect. Arrogance talks to prove its worth. Confidence speaks with clarity and listens with an open mind. Arrogance craves attention. Confidence creates calm. To build real confidence, stop measuring yourself against everyone around you. There will always be someone with more. There will always be someone who seems better. Comparison steals your presence and breeds insecurity. Focus instead on your own growth. Become a better version of who you were yesterday. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Do the hard things. Build trust through your own actions. Confidence grows out of proof. Every time you act with integrity, your self-respect grows stronger with it. Your body language reflects what's happening inside you too. Stand naturally, move with purpose, speak clearly. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Claim your place without shrinking and without trying to overpower anyone else. People are drawn to those who seem at ease with themselves because that kind of energy feels stable and safe. You don't need to get louder to become magnetic. You don't need a flawless image. You don't need everyone's approval. When you stop chasing validation and start showing up as who you really are, something shifts. Your words carry more weight. Your presence becomes calmer, and people start trusting you, not because you tried to impress them, but because they can feel that what they're seeing is genuine. Energy travels faster than words ever could. Before people remember what you actually said, they usually remember how being around you made them feel. Your attitude enters the room before your voice ever does. How you carry yourself, how you respond to challenges, how you treat others, how you handle pressure. All of it creates an atmosphere people pick up on immediately. This is why becoming a people magnet isn't only about how well you communicate, it's also about becoming a source of positive energy. Positive energy doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It doesn't mean smiling through pain or pretending problems don't exist. It means being intentional about the kind of presence you bring into other people's lives. Some people walk into every situation dragging negativity behind them. They complain non-stop. They criticize everything. They fixate on what's missing. They drain the room and leave people emotionally worn out. Over time, people start pulling away, not because they dislike them, but because constant negativity becomes heavy to carry. People magnets create a completely different experience. They bring hope, they bring calm, they bring encouragement. They remind people that challenges can be faced and progress is still possible. This doesn't require big, dramatic speeches. Positive energy usually shows up in small moments, choosing gratitude over constant frustration, offering solutions instead of just pointing out problems, encouraging someone who's doubting themselves, staying composed when things get hard. People feel safer around those who respond with strength instead of emotional chaos. Your mindset shapes the emotional atmosphere around you. Ask yourself, how do people feel after talking to me? Do they walk away feeling inspired? Do they feel heard? Do they feel lighter or more weighed down? You have far more influence than you realize. Every conversation is an exchange of energy. Your reactions set an example. Your attitude is contagious. That's exactly why protecting your energy matters so much. Cut back on habits that constantly feed negativity. Stop pouring endless attention into complaints that lead nowhere. Spend more time building perspective, gratitude, and emotional balance instead. Choose words that build people up. Choose responses that open up possibility. Choose habits that strengthen your inner world. Positive people aren't magnetic because they never struggle. They're magnetic because they carry resilience. They build an atmosphere where people feel capable, respected, and encouraged. When people consistently walk away from you feeling stronger than before, they start connecting you with growth, possibility, and peace. And people naturally keep returning to places and people that make them feel more alive. The strongest magnets in life aren't the people who ask, demand, or constantly chase attention. They're the people who create value. Most people walk into relationships, conversations, and opportunities asking one question: what can I get out of this? But people who naturally draw in trust and respect think differently. They ask, what can I offer here? That one shift changes everything. Giving more than you take doesn't mean sacrificing yourself or letting others take advantage of you. It means becoming someone whose presence leaves people a little better off than before. People remember value. They remember who encouraged them when they were full of doubt. They remember who supported them without expecting anything back. They remember who actually listened when no one else would. They remember who kept showing up again and again. Creating value starts with small actions. Offer help whenever you're able to. Share knowledge that's actually useful. Celebrate someone's progress. Support their ideas. Speak words that build up their confidence. Sometimes the smallest gesture leaves the deepest mark. Never underestimate the power of showing real interest in someone's goals, struggles, or growth. Too many people are focused on being noticed. People magnets are focused on making a difference. When you become someone useful, trustworthy, and generous at heart, people start seeing you differently. Not as someone chasing attention, but as someone whose presence actually adds something meaningful. Generosity isn't only about giving money. Time is generosity. Attention is generosity. Patience is generosity. Encouragement is generosity. Respect is generosity. You can create enormous value simply by becoming someone who gives more than they take. Another key part of giving more than you take is letting go of the habit of keeping score. Don't turn every interaction into a transaction. Don't expect an instant payback for every kind gesture. Real connection grows when people can sense sincerity behind what you do. Give because it reflects who you are, not because it guarantees something in return. Ironically, the people who stop chasing rewards are often the ones who end up with the strongest relationships and the best opportunities. Value attracts value. People trust those who consistently contribute something real. They recommend them. They remember them. They bring them into bigger opportunities down the road. Your reputation becomes your silent introduction before you even say a word. Every interaction is a chance to leave something positive behind, whether it's knowledge, encouragement, support, perspective, or simple kindness. Over time, people start connecting your presence with growth and possibility. That's when attraction stops feeling like effort. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence became something people genuinely wanted more of. Look at the people who leave the deepest impact on the world around them. They're not always the loudest. They're not always the richest. They're not always the most talented, but they carry something unforgettable. They make people feel seen. They make people feel understood. They make people feel stronger. That's what becoming a people magnet really means. It has nothing to do with learning clever tricks to grab attention. It has nothing to do with changing who you fundamentally are. It's about becoming more present, more emotionally aware, more authentic, more positive, and more valuable in every interaction you have. When you listen deeply, people trust you. When you understand emotions, people feel safe with you. When you make others feel important, people remember you. When you carry real confidence, people respect you. When your energy lifts others up, people seek out your presence. And when you give more than you take, people naturally stay connected to you. The world doesn't need more people trying to impress everyone around them. The world needs more people who create real connection. Start small. Practice just one principle today. Be fully present in a single conversation. Encourage one person. Choose to respond instead of react, just once. Offer value without expecting anything back. These small actions, repeated day after day, become your identity, and your identity becomes your influence. Remember this, you don't become magnetic by forcing people to notice you. You become magnetic by becoming someone people simply can't forget. Your presence is your power. Your energy is your message. Your character is what draws people in. Walk into every room with the goal of leaving people a little better than you found them, and watch how your relationships, your opportunities, and your influence begin to transform. If this message reached you, don't just listen to it, live it. Become the person whose presence changes every room they walk into.